We've had some roster tinkering done here at the trade deadline day. Going to get your thoughts on that. First, let's look at the roster movement that took place. 9 deals of varying size and impact, all included. Headliner in the East, Andre Iguodala, Jay Crowder heading to Miami. Iguodala hadn't played a minute this season, but brings plenty of playoff experience. Andre Drummond heads from Detroit to Cleveland on the cheap. NBA leader in rebounds could opt out. Player option, become unrestricted free agent this summer. In the West, T-Wolves sent Andrew Wiggins to Golden State for D'Angelo Russell. That's the first midseason swap of 20-point-per-game scores since the Bucks-Sonics trade of Ray Allen for Gary Payton in 2003. And after setting a franchise record with 24 three-pointers last night, the Clippers added Marcus Morris from the Knicks, who ranks 5th in three-point field goal percentage this season among qualifying players. All right, so we'll start in the East because we were just talking about the Bucks and we were talking about the 76ers and the Heat. So they're improved. We're assuming, right? That works out. Pat Riley didn't do things to weaken the club. Right. But did he do enough? Like, where do they fit in now in trying to challenge, one, the defending champion, the Raptors, or you have the team currently with the best mark in the East at 44-7, the Bucks?
For me, I look at the Heat now and I say, yeah, definitely move the needle. I look at them now as a team that you say, hey, it's been a great story, but do they really have enough to challenge and, get to a conference final? I'm not sure I felt that way about them. This might change that because I think what Andre Iguodala is going to do is a couple things. One, his IQ and his ability to make plays for people, it just makes you a better team offensively. It makes you more willing to cut, to run the floor. He's going to have great chemistry with Adebayo. He's going to have great chemistry with those young guys that shoot the basketball. He's obviously an elite level perimeter defender, and now you pair him with Jimmy Butler, you can do a lot of things defensively to teams. So I just think his presence, winning 3 rings, walking into that locker room, he's an enormous presence, and this is a guy that makes you better immediately. So I think Andre Iguodala moves the needle to where now I won't be shocked if Miami were to somehow win a couple series and find themselves in the conference finals.
All right, let's go to the West and explain to me and all of us watching the value of Marcus Morris, aside from, hey, he's a Clipper and not a Laker.
Well, look, I'm a big Mo Harkless fan, but the bottom line is you were starting a guy at power forward that was averaging 5 points a game. And this is a guy also that could defend. Well, guess what? Marcus Morris can defend. But Marcus Morris can also get you 15 to 20 on those nights just by playing in the flow of the offense. He had long stretches in Boston where he was the best player and the most consistent offensive player they had for a long portion of that last season in Boston. So this is a guy now that just gives you more stability there. And you can have now put a lineup on the floor with Patrick Beverley, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, and then you've got Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. Like, you talk about firepower and then also defensive capability. Look, John, I liked them to win the title going into the season. I haven't wavered in that. Been waiting for them to put their foot on the gas a little bit in March probably. This cements it for me. I just don't think there's a team that's going to be able to match what they can do on both ends now with that starting lineup.
You and I were getting along so well when you were complimenting the Bucks, and then you had to go the Clippers are going to win the world title. That's all right. Regardless of that, Tim Legler and Bill and I are going to try to write you in for getting you back in the three-point
I appreciate it. Yeah,
we're doing that for you at least.
Get me into that thing.
Dude, I am down with that. That would be great. Tim Legler in this era shooting threes. Not too bad. Woj is here. I'm not sure how you were functioning, but he still is for now, so we got to pepper him with some more questions. They were talking about Marcus Morris going to the Clippers. What do the Lakers do now? Because they were in on that sweepstakes also.
They were. The Lakers now, for them, you've got the buyout market, players who may come to agreements with teams, to become free agents, and there will be a pool of players. And the Lakers will be at the top of any player's list, a chance to go compete for a championship, go to L.A., and maybe improve their free agency stock by being part of a winning team. But beyond that, Darren Collison, we've been reporting for several weeks that he's seriously considering coming out of his brief retirement, and he's out in L.A. He's a UCLA kid, played with several teams. This was a 10, 11, $12 million a year player in free agency before he retired this summer. The Lakers and Clippers are his 2 favorites. He's going to choose between those 2 teams. The Lakers really need another ball-handling guard. His last 2-3 years in the league, he's become a much better three-point shooter, and he's a player that the Lakers are going to continue to recruit really hard. And just like they were with Marcus Morris, they're going to be going head-to-head with the Clippers again.
One of the more interesting things that happened, and actually didn't happen, a non-move with Danilo Gallinari, what happened between OKC and Miami that made it fall through?
Well, for Miami to commit the kind of draft assets to Oklahoma City that Oklahoma wanted, they knew that they had to have Gallinari for more than just a rental for a couple months. They wanted to get him. They wanted to get him under contract with an extension, the way they did Andre Iguodala, but they were not able to come to terms. Part of the problem for Miami is they are trying to keep cap space open for 2021 when a certain MVP in Milwaukee potentially could be a free agent. And so for Oklahoma City, they weren't willing to move Gallinari on for what became a much lower offer without assurances Gallinari would stay. And now, Gallinari finishes the season in Oklahoma City. They've been one of the surprises in the league, and he goes into free agency this summer.